On October 28, 2016, I was flying Egypt Air and I landed in JFK. It was one of the happiest days of my life I've ever experienced, because when I was in the plane, all I knew about America was a country that the streets are gold. If you grow up in where I grew up in the part of Nigeria where I grew up in Warri, Delta State, the same place I defecate on, I drink that same water and I use it to wash my clothes. So when I hear about America, all I know about America is the land of freedom. But surprisingly, when I stepped into JFK, happy that I have gotten to the land of freedom, I was stamped with a 2-year visa to stay for as long as I can and live peacefully. But I walk up to an immigration officer and said, "Sir, I am fleeing from Nigeria because my life is in danger." What happened? I'm working in Nigeria as a human rights activist, providing health services for gay men. And my country passed a law that persecutes gay men by 14 years imprisonment. And America allows gay people to live freely. So I decided to come to this country. But the immigration officer told me that, "Sorry, we don't have anywhere to keep you, so we're taking you to a jail." And I was like, "A jail?" But I thought I was coming to be welcome for everything I have done that brought me to that point. But I was put on an handcuffs, my hands and my legs and my waist, and I was thrown into a bus that was driving me to a place I don't know. When I was in the bus driving, a light shined into the back of the bus. So I woke up. Then the only thing I saw is the picture in front of my book. That is the George Washington Bridge. That was the only picture I had of the outside world for 6 months. The only way I knew it was day or night, just like this light that is on top of this ceiling, just a little pavement, you will see a bright shiny light that a new day has come. And when it's night, it returns to the same situation every single day. I remember the person that spoke before me talked about mental health. My mental health was compounded. I was filled with anxiety, depression. My family has not heard from me, although I don't have a good relationship with my family, but they don't know where I was, because for me to place a call in the detention center, it's very expensive. Someone that drinks the same water they defecate in, how can they have hundreds of dollars to place a call to Africa? But all these things were happening, but they made me resilient and they made me understand something. That all over the media and every single day, people talk about they are fleeing to America to seek freedom. But the question is, why are people fleeing to the United States? I don't see people asking immigrants, refugees, migrants, why did you flee to America? What made you come to this country? For 300 years, this country has been known as a sovereign country that has welcomed thousands and hundreds of people into this country. And that is what has made us one of the greatest countries in the world. But imagine in the morning, you got off your apartment to drive to Manhattan. When you got to the bridge, you discover that you couldn't connect to the other side of the bridge. This was me, broken into pieces. But there is one thing that I know and I believe in, is that a community of like-minded people is stronger than tens and hundreds and thousands of army that will stand against them. In 1981, when Ronald Reagan administration brought about detention center to deter Asian migrants from coming into this country, the reason why is to protect whiteness. Immigration laws have been racist as long as America has been passing each and every immigration law. Trump administration is not new. During the Clinton administration, children were detained in Guantanamo Bay. It has been a thing in this country to keep people in detention centers. But that is not the true story of America. Everybody sitting in this room, I don't know you, but I know one thing for sure, that most of you are like this. You are the bridge that connects us from this place to this place. I remember Sally, the day I was released from the detention center. The next morning, she came to pick me up from the YMCA, and she drove me to Jersey City Social Security Service. You see, there's a ticket number there. Do you know why I refused to show the ticket number? Since I came to America, everybody called me by number. Bed 26, number this, number that. America system treats people as just a number. We lose our humanity to numbers. But Sally took me there and stood with me. When they said number this, it's time for you to come forward. She walked with me to the officer. She could have done so many things. She has a lot of things to do. She left it to walk with me. Why is that? Today, I'm a product of this effort. For somebody to stay with me and say, we're going to register Social Security today, all through the way, I was broken. I don't have money. I don't have anything. But just to see somebody that stood with me through the process is enough. Most of the times we say we don't have resources. But it's not about having resources, but it's about being resourceful. Because when you give a refugee, an immigrant, or an asylee, or a migrant your time, you are not helping them. Because your time cannot change their life. But you are telling them that a word that have placed them in a position of no value, you see them, you hear them, and you validate that they are human beings. That is more than providing any kind of aid you can give to somebody. But before I talk to you about how you can be a bridge, I just want to give you a context about my life. When I was growing up, my mom, I'm Urobo from the Yoruba tribes in Nigeria. My mom, when she was about to give birth to me, I came out with my hand. So she has to do a cesarean operation. So they tore her and they dragged me out and they stitched her back. So she couldn't have a child anymore. But in Africa, Nigeria especially, having a child is wealth. Children are wealth. So she's not going to be able to give birth to another child anymore. So she decided to name me Edafe. Edafe means a wealthy man. But all through my life, I've been looking for the meaning of my name Edafe. I can't find anything that signifies to me as a wealthy man. I came out as gay. Everybody chastised me. I went through conversion therapy. I came to America to seek asylum. I was detained. All my life, I've been looking for the meaning of Edafe. I have not found the meaning of Edafe. I came out to fight for gay men to have access to treatment because one of my friends named Emmanuel had human papillomavirus, and the symptom of HPV for men is anal wart, for women is vaginal wart. So he went to see the doctor, and the doctor told him that he's gay, that's why he has anal warts. And when he had HIV, I told him, let's go to the clinic. He said, I'm not going back to that same place I was discriminated. But it was ignorance that led to the death of Emmanuel. I was working as a nutritionist. I'm a registered dietitian. I said, working as a nutritionist is not helping the community I am part of. The community I am part of, gay, LGBTQ community members, are suffering. What can I do? I have to be a bridge. And today, it's the same mentality that have got me to this point that I want to instigate on each and everybody that is listening to me today. So let's go on this journey together. For every human being to make impact in this world, it's very easy. For you to be a bridge, you have to have a just cause. When you have a just cause, you can abandon everything because of that cause. Why is that? You know the purpose of what you are fighting for. That singular thing you are fighting for might not make meaning to anybody around you today, tomorrow, or years to come. Before I came here, I was looking at the story of the civil rights movement. There's a guy named Bayard. His name never came out. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, they were all significant. Why his name was not significant is because he was a gay man. And fighting a civil rights movement in the black community and being gay is like detestable. But today, a lot of young black gay men read Bayard's story and draw courage, and knowing that your story was hidden because you were gay, not because you don't have a voice. I was listening to the audio interview. He said the reason why I did not move to the back of the bus is because even if I do, I will not be recognized because I am gay. But it does not stop me from recording this interview today because I know one day it will save one person. So his cause was just to save one person. So I will tell each and everybody today, for you to be a bridge is to know why you are supporting that cause. Why? If you know the why of that cause, it will not urge you to help somebody. Sally, I will tell you the truth, walk me through the process and push me like a baby through each and every step. And every day when I think about Sally, Emily that is sitting there, I celebrated my first birthday with her family. When I think about people that stood for me, that made me to gain courage and to be able to live my true and authentic life, I see people that have a just cause of helping just one person to move from one point of their life to another point of their life. But that is for an individual goal. But as an organization, you will say that it is difficult for me to do this in my organization because my boss would not agree. But some of you here are bosses. Some of you are leaders of your organization. One thing I have noticed is that when you don't trust people you work with, that team cannot produce any good results. Sally, for example, works 6 p.m., no time. Sally, do you have time sheet you clock in? She doesn't have time sheet she clock in. But the organization, I'm a board member of First Friend. I'm a board. I'm part of the board. I see the report. She doesn't clock in, but we trust and believe that she will deliver. When an organization will punish you because you are sick and you cannot come to work on that day, you are not building bridges. You are telling the person to come and punish the migrants that will work there that don't understand English, and that person would not be able to offer the service he's supposed to offer to that person because he's angry that the boss refused to allow him to take a sick day. When you want to build a team that will help bridge the gap of inequality, you have to trust your team members. It is very important. You play the infinite game, not the finite game. The finite game is saying that on a football game, when it's 90 minutes, the whistle is done and the game is over. But the infinite game is that one day, Edafe will become an activist for other people. I don't care the amount of time I spend on him today because I know the result is going to produce tomorrow. So when you want to build a bridge, you have to be building a trustworthy team. And one thing that can enable you to build a trustworthy team is flexibility. I remember that day that Sally took me to Social Security. Why it was very significant is that there are only 2 full-time staff for First Friend. And we have 8 asylum seekers in the office that day, people that just came out of the detention center. She drove just me and one person out of the office, leaving the other 6 people in the office. Why? A lot of people will ask, why? The why is the first thing that I said, is that she has a just cause to help one person. Just one person. And I will continue to repeat this. If you can help just one person, it's like when you plant a seed that grows a tree. The first year, if you plant let me give you a story. A baboon and a fern was planted. The first year, the farmer came, turned water on the baboon and turned water on the fern, bamboo, the stick. The bamboo did not sprout. The fern grew. 2 years, the fern grew. In 5 years, the fern is very long, but the bamboo just sprouted. But in 6 months, the bamboo grew so high and the fern died. The 5 years the bamboo spent in growing roots, and it's the lasting roots. So you have to be flexible to be able to grow and get people to where you want them to go. But in everything I have said, there is one thing that is very important. When you inspire people to dream more, to think more, to learn more, and to do more, what are you? You are like this blank slate. A lot of things can be written on it. You can be called a leader, a motivator, an activist, an author, a speaker, whatever people want to call you. They can put it on this slate, but you know who you are. And who you are should always stand, no matter what. When I came out as a young gay man, I lost connection with my family. My family thought I was insane because in Africa, being gay in Nigeria is being possessed. Why would you want to go and be somebody that will have HIV within your probability of having HIV in your lifetime? Why do you want to be this? Why do you want to be that? I don't know. But all throughout my life, it has been pushing me to this. That what will people write about me when I no longer live here? I know what people will write, but do you know what people will write about you? I've already written about Sally. I said that she is a bridge. What are you? If there's anything that I would want you to be, as a people, as a community, as a city, I want you to be a bridge. Thank you.